Welcome back to the Footy Museum and the Footy Museum podcast. Maria Van Dyke and Lee is here with me, and she, as I understand it, is a co-director at the Footy Museum, which is also what I am. Maria.
We have the same job.
That's so great. That's so weird. Are you the one answering my emails? Because I haven't checked my email in months.
Oh, you should probably check
The janitors haven't been paid. Oh, it's just a mess around here. But as you know, here in Chicagoland, it is picturesque winter weather. There's just a soft, fluffy blanket of snow.
Of mud.
And there are men and women walking around with big hoop dresses and flame lanterns.
Lululemon.
Singing. Yes. Actually, it is muddy and wet and miserable and gray. That means it's the end of the year and the holiday season, and we are going to wrap up 2023 by reviewing some of the top designs and moments in soccer culture in 2023. Are you excited?
I'm so excited that I'm going to press this button and see what it does.
Maria got new toys. And today we are going to start with new Crest designs of 2023. This could be new teams or our favorite, rebrands.
Rebrands. Oh, did you want a trumpet? I've got one of those.
Okay, let's try it again. Rebrands.
I said it was going to be a trumpet. It wasn't. It was an air horn.
Welcome to the Morning Blast with Maria and J-Dog.
And the fart face.
Did you watch that soccer game? All right. So I thought, should we start with worst first?
Yeah. I believe we should start with worst
Okay.
first.
I'm going to share my three. There's so many, but the three I chose.
Yeah,
this
was
worst.
really a joy to go through.
And I'm gonna do it like, I don't know how you did it, but I did it like the third worst, second, and then first.
Yeah.
First meaning the absolute grossest one.
Oh, okay. You're doing first is absolute grossest. Okay. I think mine's
I guess
worse,
so.
but
I don't.
whatever.
It doesn't really.
They're all bad. They're all pretty equal.
But first, I just have to mention. Stand by. This is my third worst. This is a rebrand. Second rebrand. CF Montreal, who did rebrand to a beautiful crest.
It was
the snowflake
beautiful.
crest was gorgeous, and then they kind of caved to some negative reaction, and now they have this. What I can't get over. This still to me looks like a person in a striped shirt with their head bowed down and a shield hat on top of their head. What they did is they tried to merge different ideas. And that's enough said. Just pretty bad. I'll have more to say about the other ones. Now, next in line, we are looking at a circular crest from a USL side. I believe they are USL 2. And ironically, this crest for Rochester FC, Minnesota, not Rochester, New York, Rochester, Minnesota, actually won a competition on the USL website for best crest. And I am curious about that because in the center of this blue crest, there is what I guess is a loon, like a geometric loon, and its head is turned away from the normal way, which, so it's towards its back, not looking out. So it kind of feels like maybe its neck is broken, a feeling that's amplified because the eye of the said bird is, I think, a star shape, but it looks more like an X, like a cartoon, like dead
like
bird.
it's a loon. That's
It looks
dead.
like a dead bird
I think
wrapped up in the center of their crest.
this is a new design. This is an entirely new team and design.
This new design, yeah.
I think there's a lot that's appealing about this, but you are right. Now that you say that, it does look like a loon whose neck has been wrung. Yeah.
It's just a dead bird.
Yeah. So close.
That's
So
my number
close.
2. You said there's some things that you actually like about this one?
Yeah, there's some things I like about it.
Oh, interesting. Moving on.
Well, you don't like anything about it.
I don't like it. So my third, and I saved the most for this one. We are not looking at the Third Reich's rebrand. We are in fact looking at the Italian club
on the Footy Museum's rules of how not to make a crest.
Mimicking.
It should not look fascist. It's one of the official rules.
Don't do mid-century Germany. Just stay away. Especially if you were an ally of them during World War II. Because this is an Italian club, Spezia. I'll say Spezia. And their new crest, what it is it takes the shape of the silhouette of a black falcon or bird of prey. Mm-hmm. And then kind of in the body of it is the S and C for the club. It overlapped in a way that's, you could almost maybe possibly start to see a swastika.
There's too many angles and lines.
Too many
angles.
And it's all in black. And so if we look at their most recent, which was circular, gold, black, and white, which had a large white ring with the club name and then the founding year, 1906. And then in the center, looping letters ASC. And those letters are kind of rounder edge, and it's more of maybe a Art Deco look to that font. It's a fine.
Yeah, it's simple. Black, white, and gold is a great color combination.
Yeah, and if you look at the example of past crests for the team, that kind of flowing, loopy, 1920s-esque script is predominant through the history. And that's the history from this club I would emphasize, because there are every so often iterations of their club that are very fascist heavy. And they really leaned into it hard this time. A lot of people are very unhappy with this. A lot of people
are they saying it looks fascist?
Oh yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
Okay.
That's the. I mean, how can you?
I always wonder if it's just us.
How can you not? I mean, it looks like a.
There's so many angled lines.
If you were trying to make a Bond movie and we have to make a bad guy and suggest he's a Nazi, but we don't want to actually use this. Spectre SC. So this is my number one worst new crest of 2023.
This made it onto my short list.
Sorry.
This also made it onto my short list.
Okay.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah. Mm.
Well, I hand the floor to you for bad designs for 2023.
This was fun and surprisingly easy.
Surprisingly?
I mean, because a rebrand is more than just is the design better or is the design good or not? Like if you're judging a rebrand, it's is it improved or disproved?
Oh yeah,
disimproved?
Yeah.
My first isn't actually for a club. My first is for the La Liga logo. And already,
Which to me always looks like a childhood playset logo.
I'm already not a huge fan of this logo. I like the animation. I think it's fun when it comes on TV when it's like...
Do you hate rainbows?
No, I'm fine with rainbows.
Okay.
I'm just... I think the colors are just a little basic.
It does. It's generic.
Yeah, and I think that this font is... We're seeing that it's on its way out, you know, this very
Helvetica-esque.
Helvetica it had its moment. It's great. It's on its way out. However, I do not like this. I do not like this one bit.
Was there a fascist design memo that went around Italy? It's hey guys,
but
we found some really great things in the archives from the 30s through the 40s. You should look at.
If we break this down. You know what?
The logo's very reminiscent of Juventus.
Exactly, right? It's just because it's an LL.
Okay.
But why does it look like a 4? What does 4 have to do with anything?
Oh, it looks exactly like a 4.
Yeah, so that's all I can see. Also, and then the text kind of has this 80s retrofuturist look to it, like an old IBM or something. And yes, I did watch Running Man last night, and I did.
That's a great movie. How
nuts?
How close are we to that game? It's just Squid Game. Running Man is just Squid Game.
It's like Squid Game plus Hunger Games plus Truman Show.
Yeah.
Plus Terminator all in
plus
one.
Plus Mad Max. Yeah.
It was crazy.
Anyways,
sidetrack. There was some fonts in there that reminded me of this, and I was like the station,
the pointy edge.
The station has the logo, and it's it looks just like La Liga. So
that's because
side by side.
the current simulation we're in is just arcing towards bad 80s movie.
Oh, okay. That explains why
So many things.
I've been watching so many of them lately. And then I don't know, just comparing this and this, I think the one on the left is better. I think a better thing to do would have been to just modernize the one on the left.
It is surprising for a league with a logo that could use so much improvement that how worse it is now.
How do you make something bad worse? Yeah. And why is it a 4?
They hired the Spezia people to do it. They're like, hey, we're already doing them. We'll give you a 2 for 1.
Man.
Italy, the national team just redid their crest too.
I thought it looked fine.
It does. I didn't make my list because it wasn't that. It was fine.
It was fine. It was just a little shield update, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fine. A lot of South Americans also.
So this is your third worst.
Yeah. This
Or
is my
just a
third worst.
comment. Third worst.
Yeah,
Okay.
This is the third. So
Good choice.
Second
We're in trouble.
worst. What do we got now? I don't. Oh, we already talked about this, but I couldn't help but put this on the list. This is Al-Tai, Saudi Arabian club, and we did an episode on this. But let's see. This is their original, which is quite nice. This is
it's
the
just
one.
so unique.
This is the one that they had.
And it's that color. It's
before-
very silver.
Yeah.
Anyone watching, it's very light because it
Silver.
is silver, right?
Yeah. And then
I can't wait. I know it's coming. I can't wait to see it again.
this is where they landed, and it's so bad.
They shouldn't have had Ronaldo design it for them. It's not even
It's
their
not that
team.
great.
But he loves horses. What are you going to do?
That's why he went to Saudi Arabia, because they have so many horses there.
That is
And that's the only reason.
Crest in
It's
the
so
world.
bad. And
How much did they pay for
how
it,
much
though?
did they pay for that? They have endless resources. They have
I
all the
think
money in the
we're
world.
looking at a $2 billion crest. That should be the Chicago Fire crest.
Because
it's
they also love
reflective-
horses.
Not just reflective of their level of play.
Oh my gosh. It's really bad. I
Yeah.
couldn't help but put this on this list.
Good choice. Good choice.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's number 2.
And
worst.
then my worst
Oh,
crest.
you
I
are
think-
really hitting it out of the park, Maria.
It's easy. It's easy.
Okay.
My worst crest of the year. This is
This is the-
Aston Villa's old crest.
We're looking at Aston Villa's, what most people would think is their current crest.
Because mid-season they did a rebrand
Mhm.
and it hasn't even been added to the broadcast yet, and they already are going to redo it again.
Yeah, because the response was too much. Like, we can't keep up with merch sales on this stuff,
So
right?
they were like, "Oh, we didn't get the response we wanted." So this is the old one, which
Yeah.
I liked. I liked this.
I like the line just in silhouette. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a lot of English football, you see a lot of lions.
A lot of lion.
And it's good. And it's a great color palette.
And
I've
I-
always liked Aston Villa's color palette.
And not a lot of teams right now have this shape of a shield. And then they just made purple Chelsea.
It's Bizarro Chelsea.
They made purple Chelsea, and I don't know how you come up with this design.
What? That lion looks scared. It's like, even the lion's looking at its own
my
crest and is
gosh.
like, wow.
Yeah, so we went from this to this. And this was like crowdsourced through fans and stuff too. So it's funny
Always
to me
works.
that there's a
Always
fan
works.
response that's like, no, we don't like this, even though this was made by fans. And
Group design is proven to work. I don't
And
know
then
what you're
here's
talking
Chelsea. I don't know how you come up with this Aston Villa crest when this one exists currently for Chelsea. I don't know how when this one on the left for Chelsea exists right now, this is what they're playing with. I don't know how you come to the table with just purple Chelsea.
Well, it is maroon. So I just want to be clear. As a former Oakdale Christian Crusader, I know maroon.
Also a terrible team.
That was, I kid you not, that was my elementary and middle school team where we were the Crusaders. We and this does look like that. I agree. It's very similar. It's not on its own. It's not horrible.
No, it's the
by your standard.
principle
It's
of the
not an
thing.
improvement, and it is so similar to one of the most well-known teams in the world. It's crazy.
It makes me mad.
I wonder if the issue was it was more adaptable to a lot of different uses, or I don't know.
But like how, like this one on the left is perfectly adaptable. Like, it's
Yeah,
not
the
a circle.
contrast. Maybe it's a contrast issue between the yellow and the. I don't know. I can't defend it. I think it's bad. I'll be interesting to see what they come up with next, and I'm gonna guess it's gonna look a lot like Montreal's. What they're gonna do? They're gonna keep the circle with the Aston Villa on the outside. Then they're gonna take their old shield, put it in the circle.
Oh, like City.
Yeah, or like Montreal, and then they're going to do a very detailed lion, and then in that they'll have
Another shield. The lion will be holding the Aston Villa shield on its arm, and then it will be in a shield again.
Yeah, I've read about this one while we were getting ready to the negative. Well, but I feel bad because I feel like it's a trap with any of these big clubs. It doesn't matter what you roll out. There's going to be so much negative.
Well,
And then people jump on the bandwagon.
Atletico Madrid, I thought
they're
their
reverting now.
update for this year
Was decent.
I liked it a lot with the modernizing of the bear and the tree. I liked it a lot. And now they're going back to the clip art bear with the clip art tree.
Well, there is something charming about that. Really bizarre. It's like the old. It's like the old Fulham Cottage crest, which is one of my favorites. It's just like this is so wrong. Did you just hand gesture me
in honor of Julia, our coworker who always does this to me?
Julia is the head of facilities at the Footy Museum. Oh, Julia, you make the bathroom so dirty. All right, next.
Anyways.
The worst, Maria's worst.
That was the worst. That was number 3.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, now we will go to...
Is this your tops?
Tops, same thing. So third place, second place, first place.
Okay, good.
And because I am a MLS dork,
Yeah.
against my, against my, hey, there's others. There's lots of us.
Dozens of you.
Why do you hate American soccer?
I enjoy it so much.
Seattle Sounders. I thought that they did a really good job in this redesign they just launched just a couple weeks ago, a few months ago. It's very still distinctive, much cleaner, contemporary, and I really like how it looks in the dimensional version, which is what I imagine will be on their crest. So I just wanted to give them a call out. So simple, third place. Good job.
I like the dimensional version. I'm not as into the flat version, but I think the dimensional version is great. And for this to exist, I suppose the flat version has to exist as well. And I love that there's no gradient in the flat version.
So. Well, thank you for that unsolicited input. Number 2.
I'm not allowed to have opinions?
No,
okay.
I'm just joking. Number 2, and I really like this one. This is another USL team, USL 1, which is their second division team. So USL is USL Championship, USL 1, USL 2. This is a new club that will start in 2025, Brooklyn FC. And what I like about it, it's very distinctive. They've captured elements of what is the most iconic symbol of Brooklyn, the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah, that's great.
There's also throwbacks, I feel like, to the Brooklyn Dodgers and kind of that history. And then the color palette with the black, but that not quite warm off way.
Grayish.
It's like a city grayish. It has a old newspaper color quality. Yeah. So it's really leaning into that history. And then I like their font as well, which you can see to the right, which is on from their website, a scarf they're selling. So what it is a B that looks kind of like an MC Escher-esque bridge where it doesn't quite make sense, but it's still clearly the bridge. It has the famous arches of the Brooklyn Bridge, and then it just has a black and then another white outline. And I also like it because it's such a distinct shape. It's just that straight B, kind of a retro feeling. So I'd say, well done.
Yeah, I think that's really nice.
And I imagine they'll be a well-followed team. I've heard that there are some there's some hipsters moving to Brooklyn. So
I haven't heard that.
If you are in the market real estate wise, I'm gonna this is a little hot tip. You might want to check out Brooklyn.
Brooklyn's real hot right now.
Yeah, or it's gonna be. It's about to break.
Oh, okay.
It's still. I think it's still fish merchants and Newsies right now.
A coffee shop popped up on the.
It's gonna be once they clear out the Newsies.
Oh, okay, they're trouble.
So that's my number 2.
Those Newsies and their unions.
Check this one out. I might actually get some merch from these guys.
This looks. There's an NWSL expansion team in San Francisco that has done something a little similar. It's like Bay FC, and they went kind of old baseball route too. Like this feels very baseball, like you said.
And I think going back to earlier this week when we were talking about the hell is real, Darby wearing the exact same clothes that we're wearing now. Isn't that crazy? How we
yeah,
did
that
that
is
earlier
crazy.
this week?
We really got to watch these.
I like that embracing aspects that are American, you
Yeah.
know? And so the only downside is it's Brooklyn FC. It would be nice if they had, you know, the different name, like the Brooklyn,
Oh, like a mascot.
the Brooklyn Lattes or
the
Brooklyn Speculators, the Brooklyn
hipster dads.
Hipster Dads, or the Brooklyn
Brownstones. The Brooklyn Brownstones.
Brooklyn Brownstones. I was gonna say the Self-Assured Warriors, but the Brooklyn Brownstones is pretty good.
The Brooklyn Beanies.
Oh, the Brooklyn Beanies. That could be their nickname. So anyway, what I was gonna say in your comment, I noticed that, but I also noticed in USL and through their levels and NWSL, there is a consistent design aesthetic of fairly simplified, you know what I mean? Big, not a lot of detail. And it seems like maybe they're all going to some of the same people to do these. I don't know.
I think, it's like a few of the same people do a lot of them, right?
So then my first is maybe not...
I'm excited. I don't know what
maybe
this
not
is.
the best in the world, but I was just so charmed when I came across it.
It's about the rebrand. It's not about how good it is.
So Springfield Athletic. 2 reasons I chose this.
This is wonderful.
The change from their original to their rebrand is phenomenal. And they are the Monarchs. And center to this crest, which is a brown, an orange, and off-white color, is a stylized geometric monarch. And I cannot think of any other crest that I've seen in the world with a central butterfly.
I can think of like one other that I've seen a bug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's I think it's just beautiful. And who is that famous illustrator that does like the
Charlie Harper?
This is very Charlie Harper styled. Especially when you juxtapose it to their original crest, which shocked me. That was their crest that was designed just 2 years ago in 2021. And it looks like the logo for like a indoor dome from like the 70s. There's the soccer ball shapes established 2021, a blue star and kind of curving lines. It's horrible. So I saw that comparison and I just wanted to give hats off to Springfield Athletic. Again, I might get merch from this because I just really
It's gorgeous.
It's beautiful. And I really like when Crest when they feature animals or other things that aren't aggressive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you can be a butterfly or...
Well, have you ever seen a butterfly up close?
Or a bird.
Oh.
I've ever seen a butterfly up close. You're like, this is actually the most horrendous crest you've ever seen.
I'm going to go millennial on you for a second. There's an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh, I thought you needed to take a nap or something. Ooh, millennial joke. Sorry.
I've never heard that one before.
What?
That millennials take naps.
Oh, I don't know. I was just trying to think of something that would sound like you're soft.
Oh, okay.
Which you're not. Anyway, I'm
anyways.
sorry. I don't know. I don't know the millennial tropes. I was caught off guard.
SpongeBob SquarePants is one of them. And there's an episode with the butterfly that's trapped in a bubble.
Do you need to take a nap, Maria? Sorry.
It is kind of toasty in here.
Okay, no, go ahead.
No, that's
And SpongeBob is trapped in a bubble.
no, the butterfly is under the sea.
Okay.
Anyways, for all of our millennial listeners, I see.
Millennials don't listen to podcasts.
They don't have the attention span anymore, do they?
No, they just don't. No, prove us wrong, millennials.
Leave a comment about how much you love this podcast.
And don't use punctuation or capital letters. Okay.
Because punctuation it's sassy. It's a mood.
How is punctuation a mood? Punctuation is just the established way to translate what you mean.
If you send a text message that's like, okay, period. That is like, I'm like, oh no, he's mad at me.
That's just the written language,
He's
though.
mad about this. Okay,
So,
period.
Were you mad when I sent you that text message that said, "You better get here now," all capitals, and then an exclamation point? Did you take that wrong?
I just assumed that you were going to kill me when I got here.
Okay, so those are my crests and my incorrect views on Maria's generation. Okay.
All right. Well, I have no opinions on Gen X because nobody does.
Oh, that's right. We just hold it all together and we get no credit for anything. The boomers won't let us have anything, and the millennials blame us for everything.
Well, everyone blames us for everything.
Even though they want to steal all our styles and all our music, you know.
It's just what happens generation.
Look, I was at the first Lollapalooza, okay? Even flow. All right, carry on. This is the first generational clash that we've had at the Footy Museum. I'm going to have to call Julia, who's also our head of our HR.
She'll take my side.
Yes, you are the same age. Dang it.
Okay.
So good. Anyway,
what was mine? Okay, so I had a range here. No, this is you.
I did want to do one shout out. Sorry. So I do like this. I did not choose this because it's not a major rebrand. But Rosenberg Ball Club, they redesigned their crest. Their official crest used to have 2 stars over top, based on championship wins. They, like a lot of teams, have now expanded the club to a men's and women's team, and they are dedicated to the branding being the same as if it's one team. And since the stars were just associated with the history of the men, they removed them from the official crest, so it can be shown across. And I thought that was that's a pretty cool design, and I do like this crest quite a bit.
That's nice.
So anyway, I wanted to throw that in there.
Nice little feminist design there.
Yeah.
I like it.
But I heard that those male players are really taking their star. They're just so weak. They couldn't handle it. Just complaining. Oh, it's like
kicking balls everywhere.
They like their shiny things. Okay. Oh. Oh my gosh.
So my top 3.
This team is called the Shots.
Yeah, they're the Shots. They're the Aldershot Town Shots, and their mascot is a phoenix because they formed out of the ashes of Aldershot FC. And so in 1992, the best year.
1992. Mm-hmm. That's when I got married the first time. That's when I had my first 16 kids. Okay.
All right. So they've had a version of this since 1992, and this is not a big rebrand, but they play in the National League in England, so they're a low tier, just town
made
squad.
famous by Wrexham. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just delighted by this. I just think how fun for them.
Do you want to describe what it looks like?
Yeah, so it's a circle crest with varsity letters, Aldershot Town FC, the Shots in the outer ring, which is blue, and on the inside it's like this cartoon hand drawing of a phoenix with some really weird looking flames. And in the old version it was just all blue.
It looks like the Loch Ness Monster on fire.
I thought it was a dragon, but it's a phoenix. And now it's colored in, and it's the whole crest is blue, red, and orange, and light blue. And I just think
I love that the rebrand was just using paint bucket.
Yeah, it's just really fun. And this is just a little.
And this is your best list?
No, yeah, this is my best list.
These are your best.
Yeah,
this was the first. Okay, I just want to check. This is the first of the best.
Personal opinion. I was delighted by this.
Okay.
I think this is great for them.
Okay.
Anyways.
It is fun. It is fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Okay, moving on.
Oh, yeah, the Utah Royals.
So this is the Utah Royals, which is an NWSL team that actually folded in 2020.
Oh.
And
they're coming back.
They're coming back.
Are they associated with Real Salt Lake?
The folks who own Real Salt Lake purchased the team.
Oh, they're bringing them back.
They're bringing them back.
Awesome. Okay.
So this is the old design.
It's a good ownership group there now. Yeah.
This is the old design, and it's a lioness, and there's the arches in its body, and there's a crown, and
the Utah Red Rock formation.
It's fine, but what I think they did with this rebrand was really smart.
Oh.
I think this is great. And this was done because they wanted to
I
focus.
love The Lion King. This is great.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah.
So what I think is really smart about this rebrand is that, one, I believe this is an improved design. It's more simple, it's more geometric and graphic, but it still feels, it doesn't feel too boring. There's still some detail. They, like, why does OL Marine have a male lion on their logo? These guys specifically put a female lion for a female team, right? And it looks feminine. It also looks interesting. There's also, instead of doing the arches in the middle of the lion's body, which is distracting on the old one, they put the Utah mountains in the background above its head, underneath a crown for it being royal.
So I'm just now, when you said that, realizing that you are saying it's a lioness because it doesn't have a mane.
Yeah.
One thing I would mention is the yellow circular lines on either side of the head combined with the curved Utah Royals and the outline of the mountains, to me, gave it the appearance of a mane. Like that whole blue area around the head, to me, looked like a mane. It reads as a mane. Maybe
it does.
Oh, no, I'm just saying that's why that's why I said the line. I'm just saying that's why I said the Lion King thing.
Okay. That because it's a lion that has a crown on its head?
Well, and a mane. It looks like it has a mane. Yeah.
No, it's...
But then when you said it didn't, then I saw clearly that it didn't. So I like the, it's not overly detailed, but the detailed lines they have, how they flow in and continue with the design is really nice. And I think crowns are always tricky to deal with.
What I think is especially good about this is for the rebrand itself, which is not just a team rebrand. It is a team that died and is coming back again. They stuck with so many of the elements from the first one to keep it consistent. They just didn't do a full like new look.
Right.
They kept the same shape, the same colors, same basic elements, and just revamped it. And I think made it more distinctive. You see a lot of lions in profile.
Yeah. Right. Daily.
Yeah. Daily. Walking down the street.
Yeah. It's true. So this is your number 2.
This is my number 2.
So
number 1, are you ready?
I don't have the same sound effects.
My number 1 rebrand. Oh, this is Tokyo, or FC Tokyo, and this is their old one.
Right.
This is their old one. This they've had since 99.
Okay. Ooh.
The new one. Right? This is quite nice.
That is elegant.
It's elegant. It's precise. It's precise. And they have a whole thing on their website about what all of these lines mean. And it has a 3-part shield. It's divided into 3 parts. So it's blue background with red stripes on it. And there's one section has 11 stripes for 11 players. One section has 4 stripes that represent their values as a club. And then one section has 1 red stripe, which represents unity. And the angles of these sections were determined by the same angles that are used on the pentagon and hexagons of soccer ball construction. So it's very precise in that way, which I think is really interesting.
I find the FC spacing at the top of the shield. So FC is over the name Tokyo. Yeah. F is over the T. The C is all the way over the O. And then the F and C are closer to the top edge than anything else on the crest is to the other edges. So it also creates a tension. And there's just something, it's enough to where you notice it and are drawn to it, but it still holds together.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
It grabs you. Yeah.
So it does feel very precise. And it also reminds me of those great US kits that had all the kind of perpendicular red and blue lines. You know that one?
Yeah.
It looked very similar to this, and it's one of my favorite kits all time. Slow clap. Well done. I think between this and the Monarchs, I would choose. I like them both, but I would choose this one. Oh, look at that!
Yeah. And then here it is on the kit embossed, and you can't really. I guess it's a little
shiny
small.
Black kit. That's bold.
I don't know if that's their real kit. I don't know if
leather?
they just put that on there.
Wow.
They got a whole vibe there in Tokyo. So, I mean, it's pretty cool. I think it's cool for an Asian club too, that's using Latin letters to play with them this way. Because they don't have to use Latin letters. They are, because this is the world we live in. But yeah, like playing with the spacing in ways that maybe we don't see for clips that in Latin languages, romantic languages. Yeah, you know, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow.
Well, those are great. I enjoyed seeing all of those. This was fun.
This was fun.
I think we should do this again next week. What are we going to do? We already decided. What would we decide?
Kits?
I think it was kits. Top kits, worst kits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Top and bottom kits.
All right. Until then. We press some buttons.